Here, I thought I'd better do an update on our situation with our truck. Oh boy, I knew that because of the enmity between Chevy owners and Ford owners, that there would be someone who would say, you see, it broke down. That's why I would never buy a Ford. Ford is, as far as I know, is the top selling truck in the Philippines. You know, when we first went to look at we went to look at a truck, we decided that we would go for the what I think is probably a legendary reliability of the Toyota. The Hilux was the truck that we thought would be the best for us because they do have such an incredible reputation for reliability. Nevertheless, the top selling truck is still Ford. So we went to, and I told this story before, I'll do it very quickly, okay? We went to Toyota. Now we went absolutely, we wanted to buy. Now we'd already been to Ford a few weeks prior, and we loved the Raptor, but we thought that it was far above us. So we went this time. We actually went to Tagbilaran on a van, which takes a certain amount of courage as well, because they are completely insane as drivers, certainly to a foreigner's eyes, yes. So we stood the test of the van drive up to Tagbilaran, and then we got a tricycle in and told them take us to Toyota, and we went to Toyota. Well, I'm assuming now that the salesman saw us pull up in a tricycle and thought, yeah, okay, not so rich foreigner. And when we walked into Toyota, nobody came to say hello. How are you? We'll see you in a few minutes. Can you wait? Nobody, nothing. So we stood there, feeling about as welcome as a fart in a spacesuit, and nobody came. And finally, I went over to the desk where there were several very attractive ladies sitting, waiting to serve somebody, and said, "Do you think somebody could attend to us?" "Yes. Can you wait a moment?" So we went again and stood in what seemed like a desert in the middle of the showroom, and nobody came. Nobody's invited us to sit down. We just felt ignored. So, feeling more than a little bit pissed, we walked out, and we decided that we'd just walk along to Ford, which we knew was a very short walk, couple of minutes down the road from. Anybody who knows Tagbilaran will know that Toyota is very close to Ford. Well, when we got into Ford, what a difference. Straight away someone came over and wished us good day and can we get you a cup of coffee, and showed us to a nice table where we sat down, and indeed they came back and they gave us coffee and said somebody will be here to see you very soon. And very soon somebody was there. But in the meantime, we stood up and we looked at the Raptor, and the Raptor was immaculately presented, just faultless. And we looked, and when the salesman came, I'd actually spoken to him once before when we looked at the Fords, and said, can the paintwork possibly be this good on an everyday truck that comes through for sale? Absolutely, he said, and it was. So just on an impulse, we sat inside the Raptor. And for anybody who has actually been and sat in a Raptor, you'll know that the marketing is way over the top. The back of the seats has the Raptor logo. Even the carpets, when you get in, you open the door, the carpet that is on underfoot. Oops, talking about feet. I nearly knocked the camera over. yeah, the everything is just so beautifully done. So we sat there, and Beth said, "Do you want to get it?" And up to that point, I never second guess Beth on handling the finances. I'm not really, believe it or not, I'm not really interested in money and dealing with it. So, fine, I lead a simple life and I'm happy with it. And she said, we could get it. You'll have to give up your pension for 3 months, I think it was. So 3 months I coughed up my pension to handle the deal. And we spoke to a lady that was sitting at the desk close to where the Raptor was, and I said to her, if we pay cash, can we buy this Raptor today? And she said, yes. Now, when we'd been in a few weeks prior to that, Raptors were in such demand that you had to put a 50,000 pesos deposit down to show your interest, right? So 50,000 straight away, and that put you on the list for getting a Raptor. Well, they must have had enough of a supply of Raptors in, and they were able to let us buy that Raptor. Now, in the Taliban area, I don't know about Tagbilaran. We're not there often enough. But in the Taliban area, there are maybe about 6 Raptors. So it might possibly, at the pinch, it might be 8 Raptors. I don't think it is. It's about 6. And that's all. Now, there are tons, just such a lot of ordinary, I'm saying ordinary, the normal Ford truck, the one that's the next one down, of Ford, and they're easy to come by, and you can go to Tagbilaran and get one straight away. We just struck lucky that we were able to buy the Raptor, and our test drive was to the bank. We went into the bank. There's just a difference in the service between our experience in Ford as opposed to Toyota, where we felt totally ignored. The salesman obviously came with us on the test drive. We went to the bank. Salesman came in with us to the bank and said, why don't you sit down in this waiting area and I will handle everything. And in just a few minutes he came back. We sorted all of the paperwork out, transferred the money, and we drove home in the Raptor. And that's how easy it was. Now, I got to say that we've had a couple of complaints about the Raptor, but it's never let us down. In 3 years, we had one situation where we were parked in a particular area at a birthday party of the chief of police in Itafi, and I left the hazard warning lights on, completely unnecessary here in the Philippines, I find. So it ran the battery down, and we needed a boost to get the thing going. Now, when we took the truck in and just had the battery tested, because it had never done this before, it was found that there was, I think, it was a dead cell in the battery. And the battery, unbelievably, is not a Ford battery. It's fitted to the Fords, but it only has a 12-month guarantee, which it was out. It was already about 2 years old. So it was fine. We tested it. We charged it up, and we drove to Tagbilaran, and I bought a new replacement battery, exactly the same as the one that was in there, and they fitted it, and it was all fine. and that's the only time we've ever had any trouble with it. Got a little bit of excess wear on the seats, which we're thinking we'll have to buy new seat covers, because now they don't take a seat and upholster it. The whole thing comes on an upholstered slip over, very high quality, but we've had some extra wear, and it's spoiling the look of the Raptor. So that's all that we're doing. So the damage that is there, what is thought is that this is a truck that does four-wheel drive every day. It's on four-wheel drive every day, and we have that 2 mile back and forth off-road dirt road, which is in worsening condition even after we had the grader in, and it's a trial. And the salesperson that we talked to, or service person, said that what they think has happened in the past, where the four-wheel drive is being used in very rough conditions, is that you can get something that gets kicked up into the underneath of the truck, and a fuel line can be damaged, because that's what we saw. We saw that it was losing fuel out the bottom, and so we had it lifted onto a low loader, and they took it back last night. We're still waiting on the proper diagnosis, where they'll find out exactly what's happened. So that's where we stand at the moment with our Raptor, which is really disrupting the way that things work here. We really depend on the Raptor. It just does everything. It's been an incredible truck for us. I love it, and it's such a joy to drive, really. So anyway, I'll let you go.